You must build a 5-story building. And this is how you get your wealth and power. Now, the first thing you work on is economics. You started practicing group economics, making your money bounce in your own community 8 to 12 times before it leaves. The second floor is politics. Our people got that backwards. They want to get into politics before they get in the economy. Backwards as hell. You won't make it. You buy every politician with the money you made on the first floor. The third floor is your court system, your police system. You control the court system so they won't be getting 40 years in jail for having marijuana. Then the fourth floor is media. You take your money off the first floor and you buy media. Black folk own 35 thousandths of 1% in media. You don't own media, you can't communicate, you can't organize, you can't motivate. The fifth floor is education. Education is a tool, just like a hammer and a saw. But you got to have an economy. See, when a kid graduates from school, the first thing you do, he should be able to go back to his own community and start building businesses and industries and drawing money into his community and holding it.
I'm back. It's HRap in the Dimension Media. Thank you for tapping in. If at all possible, hit that like, hit that share, tell a friend and tell a friend, share the link that you got. It's important. You can also watch me on www. I actually prefer that you watch me on www.thaendofdabench.com, where you'll see more of my content. It'll be easier to access it, or you can just stay on YouTube and watch it there. Hit that like. It is important. Thank you for tapping in. Good morning, good night, good afternoon, wherever you are. Thank you for tapping in. I'm HRap. I am here to rap with you for 15 minutes or less. Thank you. Today is war ready. We seem to be on the edge of sanity in regards to being citizens in the United States of America since former president, now next president-elect Donald Trump was elected. I'm telling people to get war ready. I've been saying how we need to reduce our wants and operate off our needs. Here's another way to help with that. War ready, you're ready for battle. You're going to put yourself in a position to whereas your fiscal value will increase potentially, and you'll put yourself, no matter what, you'll put yourself in a position of power. Now, how do you do that? You must first expand your knowledge base. The stock market is a tool that you can use to advance yourself and put you in a better situation. You're not going to use this as a get-rich-quick scheme. That's not what the stock market is. The stock market is not a get-rich-quick scheme. What it is the ability to gain information and enhance your wealth at a slow rate of speed so you won't be chasing at all times. Understand, if the policies and procedures go through that President-elect wants with this Project 2025, we're going to be screwed. That's it. You're going to be fighting for raises. They're trying to dismantle the ability of unions and the power of unions. And we're going to be in a situation to whereas if you don't know, you will lose. One thing about this is we traditionally, the Black community traditionally sets trends. We put people in play. We put objects in play. We popularize things and then other people catch on and then they use them. So what we can do is use our innate ability to popularize things and use that same ability to invest in those said things and increase our wealth. You must always establish a way to get richer every day in a capitalistic society. Getting up and going to work may not cut it anymore. In most cases, it won't. Why would you get 2 jobs and 3 jobs to spend more and more time away from your family and loved ones? This is not how you create a productive society. What I would like us to do is this. What I would like us to do is simply use this tool called the stock market and enhance our finances and put ourselves in a situation to whereas we can purchase property, purchase land, develop entities inside of our community so we can use what Dr. Clive Anderson said at the top of the show. We can use our abilities to create finance, create entities, create objects, sell said objects, and everybody around us will benefit. Whether you know me or not, I can benefit from your information. You can benefit from my information. We can get together with our friends and family members and enhance our lives. How do you do that? If your first question may be, hey, I don't know anything about the stock market. I don't know what to invest in. I don't even have the money to do it. I'm barely getting by. My suggestion is just a few. Reducing your needs or wants and primarily living off your needs. It's hard to do that. It's extremely difficult to do things like that. What you want to do is reduce your intake of fast food. It's convenient, but it's not convenient financially for you. Oh, I can get this for $20, but for $20, you could potentially feed your family for a couple days. If you do it the way our elders did it and our ancestors did it, there's no way possible that they can live off less and live better lives, and at the end of the day, have better situations than we currently have. And then we are living in opulence and struggling. So if you smoke cigarettes, cut down on your cigarettes. It's only going to benefit you. Fast food, cut down on that. Drinking, cut down. You notice I've never said stop it. It might be beneficial to stop smoking. It might be beneficial to stop drinking, but I'm not saying that. I'm saying cut back on these things. If you're a pack-a-day person, become a pack every other day person. Some people even 2 packs a day, but just imagine a pack a day, you cut back, you're going to clear your lungs, and you're going to keep a little money in your pocket. If you're eating fast food, if you're eating 3 or 4 meals a day at the fast food place, that's $30 a day. What if you cut it down to $15? What if you cut fast food out altogether and go and pack your lunch and do meal prep every day? So now, instead of spending $210 a week, what you're going to do is spend $105 a week. So there's $105 into your investment portfolio. If you like to kick it a lot, hang out with your friends, and you guys are buying a fifth of this and a case of that, how about buy smaller portions of drink or hang out less? Or if you have a significant other, you and that person spend more time together learning this, and you'll spend less money, and that'll put a little more money in your pocket, and then you can invest that. These are the things that I want you to take into consideration when you're listening to me today, because if you do these few things, you'll put more money in your pocket. And I have made money off as little as $35 a week. So just imagine if you and your significant other cut back on these things simultaneously, you both will put yourselves in a better situation. You may have an excess of $300 a month that could go into the market, in which this will enhance your value inside of a year. That's what I want you to do. Realize that this investment thing is not as difficult as it sounds. I'm old enough to remember the Commodore VIC-20, which was one of the very first computers that was introduced to mainstream America. When I saw that in my 8th grade class, I was like, oh my God, I don't know what this is. And here I am broadcasting live with the same format of computers and putting it in front of the entire world. Salute to the people all over the world, and as well as here in the fiscal United States, for supporting me. Thank you. Hit that like, hit that share again. Everything seems complicated until you start doing it. You didn't know how to use Facebook. You didn't know how to use Instagram. You didn't know how to use TikTok. A lot of people, when you are introduced to something, you have no knowledge base for it. But what you do is you find a way to use those things. You find a way to get around those things. And when you get around those things, guess what happens? It enhances your life in regards to pleasure, information, or just something to do to waste time. I'm not telling you to alter your entire life. I'm telling you to change some things to create a work-life finance balance, because now it's going to be a tripod. Instead of just work-life balance, it's going to be a work-life finance. That way you can have more financing, less work, and more life. That's all I'm trying to enhance in your life. Because again, a lot of these employers, due to oncoming tariffs, if they do or don't happen, due to companies trying to make sure that they continue to make the money they can't continue to make, they don't want to give you raises. Things are going up and prices are going up, and wages are maintaining or going down. So what we are going to do is use the tools that the billionaires use to enhance their lives. Before we do that, I'm going to give you a 3-minute clip of our ancestor, the great Malcolm X, so he can let you know the type of power you have. He's talking about politically, but I'm talking about socially, politically, and in your home life. I'll be back in exactly 3 minutes.
African Americans, or so-called Negro. One of the reasons that it is bad for us to continue to just refer to ourselves as so-called Negro, that's negative. When we say so-called Negro, that's pointing out what we aren't, but it isn't telling us what we are. We are African, and we happen to be in America. We're not American. We are people who formerly were Africans who were kidnapped and brought to America. Our forefathers weren't the Pilgrims. We didn't land on Plymouth Rock. The rock was landed on us. We were brought here against our will. We were not brought here to be made citizens. We were not brought here to enjoy the constitutional gifts that they speak so beautifully about today. And because we weren't brought here to be made citizens today, now that we've become awakened to some degree and we begin to ask for those things which they say are supposedly for Americans, they look upon us with hostility and unfriendliness. So our unwanted presence, the fact that we are unwanted, is becoming magnified in all of America's preachments today. In the United Nations, you have poor nations and rich nations. They say that the most powerful bloc in the UN are the African Asian bloc. These are the poor nations, yet they carry more weight in this political body than the nations do who have all the money. Why? Because no matter how wealthy America is, she only has one vote. No matter how wealthy Russia is, she only has one vote. Whereas all the poor nations in Africa who have just emerged into independence, they have each a vote too. And they stick together and are able to outmaneuver the rich nations. This isn't by having independence and the right to vote in the political world body, it has enabled the dark nations to band together and use the strength of their ballot to force the wealthy nations, which are the white nations, into giving more independence to other nations who are still under their jurisdiction. You and I have to look at this and understand this, that the ballot is as powerful as the bullet. Now, if you and I leave it up to the
Welcome back. This is HRap again. Thank you for tapping in. Hit that like, hit that share, tell a friend and tell a friend. If you got a link, share it out with someone. It may be beneficial to them as well. As you see, together we're a fist. Separate, we're not. This is why I do what I do. Brother Malcolm talked about the independence of our people, the unity of our people, and how we can come together and uplift ourselves. So we don't need anyone else. And the reason I'm on today is to give you information about the stock market so you can individually enhance your life. And if you want to, you can share this link and share this with friends and create things like what is called an investment club. An investment club will force you to learn about the stock market because you and several people, the ideal situation is odd number 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, so forth and so on. And you guys come together and invest and put your money together and follow the steps that I have laid out before you today. And hopefully it will enhance your entire lives. It is a 99.9% chance that even when things like today, some of my stocks lost about 4% today. But that's cool. That's when you invest. When you invest when it's down, when it comes back up, now you can extract some of the profit. Now, some people don't understand the stock market. It seems to be Greek or Chinese writing. I don't know what that is. Here's a little thing that you can always use to ensure that you can invest in something that is beneficial to you. First and foremost, listen to yourself. I don't know about the stock market. Again, listen to yourself. You see Black people online always bragging about how we're creative and how we set trends. Okay, that's number one. Number two, what do you invest in? What do you buy? That's most important. Whatever you're buying, that's what you're investing in. 3, what is this? This is a cell phone. Most of us have these. There are two different parties for the cell phone: the Android party, and there is the Apple party. So Android, Google, or Apple app in your iPhone. You want to invest in those. Invest in yourself. It's almost like the lie that they tell you about cash back when you use your credit card. Hey, if you use this credit card, you can get cash back. So if you use that same mentality when you're using the stock market, bam, there it is. That's how you get paid. What I want you to understand is this. You invest in the best companies in the world. You don't need to find number 255 and then that's the one that's going to blow up and voila, I'm rich. No, this is an information driven entity. This isn't football gambling. This isn't horse racing gambling. This isn't playing the cards where it's a possibility. Guess what? You want to look up things like whose profit margin is the largest. How in the entire hell am I gonna know that, HRap? Why are you talking this stuff? Easily, I'll tell you. You see it on the screen. Stock market terms and definition. And oh, I got that wrong. Let me correct that. I made a mistake. I was moving too fast. Something I told myself I wasn't gonna do. This is what I'm gonna correct this on the fly. Collect this on the fly. Wham, wham, wham. There it is. That's what happens when you copy and paste from a website and they don't give you everything. Bam. There it is, wallmain.com. Wallmain.com gives you stock terms and definitions, and it also displays profit margins. What is a profit margin? That means the money that they bring in, how much do they keep? This is a company right here. Let me put this on the screen. This is another company that as you do this, I think I have it wrote down. Yes, I do. And this is a company with an outstanding profit margin. This is a company you need to look into. It's a technology-based company. This is what you need to look into. That company right there is one of the best profit margins in the world right now. 48% profit margin. You may not know what profit margin is. What's a profit margin, HRap? Easy. The money that they bring in. If the end of the bench brings in $100, if my profit margin is 48%, that means 48 of those dollars stay right here with end of the bench. The other goes to the internet. The other goes to the microphone. The other goes to the software I'm using. The other goes to the laptop I'm using. The other goes to the roadcaster and so forth and so on. The lighting, the green screen, everything. That's the profit margin. So if I bring in $1, I keep 48. If I bring in $100 and I keep $48, that means I'm killing it. If you don't understand what that means, how about this? How many of you got on Nikes right now? Nike's profit margin is 11%, which if you ask me, a CEO, as many people walking around this country in the world with Nikes on and your profit margin is you putting out $90 and you putting out $100 and you spending 89 of them, you need to be fired. But that's not my call to make unless I start purchasing Nike. This is what I want you to understand. That's why you invest in the company that's on the screen. That's why you invest in Microsoft. That's why you invest in Google. That's why you invest in Apple, because these are the things that everybody is investing in. That's what we're doing. We're learning how to invest. Oh man, I don't know this. This is confusing. It's only confusing because you haven't put the time in. Everybody who's watching this show has a reasonable amount of intelligence. And with a reasonable amount of intelligence, you'll be able to make money because you'll pay attention to what you do. Another question. How long have you been on Facebook? How long have you been on Instagram? How long have you been on TikTok? If you're on Twitter, how long have you been on Twitter? If you're using those things, guess what? Perfect example of what I'm talking about. A couple of weeks ago was the anniversary of Mark Zuckerberg purchasing Instagram. He paid $1 billion. $1 billion. That is $1 million 1,000 times. Everybody say he overpaid for that. Over the next 5 years, Mark Zuckerberg made $250 billion in ad revenue. Did he mess up? Just look. Guess what? His company, Meta, is on the stock market. Just imagine had you invested in Meta the day that it hit the stock market and put $200 in it and walked away. How much money would you have right now? That's all I'm asking. These are the things that I need you to pay attention to. This is exactly what's going on. It's not confusing when you look at it like that, because if you've been on Facebook like I have, I've been on Facebook since 2015. That means for 9 years, I've been playing around, wasting my time, not making a dime. I've been on Instagram for like 2 years, maybe 3 years. I've been on TikTok for maybe 9 months. As a matter of fact, I've been on TikTok for 13 months. I've been on Twitter since 2009. Twitter sold earlier last year for $36 billion. How much money are we missing out on not investing in these companies? Elon Musk is printing money with Tesla. Everybody going to get a Tesla. That means you need to invest in Tesla. That's how easy it is in the stock market. That's how easy it is in the stock market to get paid on a regular basis. Every time you turn around, you'll be putting money in your pocket. Do you? And again, this is the most important part about this stock thing. You don't take the money, you don't make money and then take it out. What you do is, if you make $1,000, treat yourself if you like and take out $200, take out 20%, take out 10%, take out 10% and buy yourself something to eat. And then put that money, the rest of that money, back into the stock market. This is how you make money. You don't have to be the smartest guy in the world. All you have to do is do something like this. Pay attention, understand what you spend your money on, understand what the people around you spend their money on. Either do it on your own and invest a little bit at a time, or you can do what I did. What I do is this. I have Robinhood, which is a popular popular investment tool that you can buy portions of stock on, or you can go to Morgan Stanley, aka E-Trade, and then you have to buy full stocks. Here's a stock tip. A lot of people are leaving what was formerly known as Twitter, now it's known as X. They're transitioning to Blue Sky. Today I invested in Blue Sky. Guess why? Because Blue Sky right now is trading on the New York Stock Exchange for 55 cents per share. If you put $100 in there and 25% of the people transition to Blue Sky, you've done yourself a tremendous favor. No more just gorging out on junk food. If you eat fast food 3 days a week, cut it down to a day and a half. Or 4 days a week, cut it down to 1 day. If you're buying a fifth of liquor, go to a pint. If you're buying a 12-pack of beer, go to a 6-pack. If you're buying smoking a pack of cigarettes every day, smoke a pack of cigarettes every other day. Use that money to invest in the stock market in the things that you like. And then as you look into things that you like, there'll be certain things in the Standard & Poor's 500 and other entities that you can invest in that you will find yourself doing yourself a favor. Thank you. I am HRap B. This is the end of today. I'll see you tomorrow. It is important that you invest in yourself first and foremost by using the tools of your knowledge around people, and you seeing people that's buying Louis Vuitton, buying Gucci, buying Hennessy, drinking that stuff, and find out the parent company and invest in it and watch your wealth increase. Thank you for tapping in. See you tomorrow. Hit that like, hit that share, subscribe if you haven't. I am
So really, ain't nothing in this integration. I need some land. I need some jobs. My people need jobs. We need something so we can build and do for ourselves, and we must have some land. Now, what's your suggestion? What should be my movement? Integrate?
Yeah, equal rights in a mixed society.
In this society, where you still own the government, you still own the train station, the railroad plant, the lecture plant, these television cameras, you still make all the food, you control everything, and I'm like a leech on a dog's back. All I can do is just wait for you. I can't do nothing for myself. Integrating in your society don't mean I'm doing nothing for myself. You doing it all. I want to do something for myself. I'm tired of depending on you. You might get broke one day. Your stores might close. Your gas pumps might cut off again. I'm relying on you now. Can I have my own land?